Hi guys, welcome to Christian Education Kids Edition. So today, the day is finally here. We have been waiting for Advent and Advent's here now. But now that Advent is here, we're going to wait a little longer. Because the whole point of Advent is to wait for Jesus' second coming. So we talk about Jesus' birth and we talk about all of the different things that Jesus has granted us and gifted us. So today we talk about hope, and we think about hope and the hope we have in Jesus. And we spend this time waiting for Jesus, reminding us that he's coming again, and thinking about the hope that comes with Jesus. Now, you may have noticed in worship, probably lit a candle. And there are candles actually outside of the church in a bin. They're beautiful blue votive candles that Pastor Zach was very nice to get for everybody, so each family can have one. And with it comes a prayer, and you can light this candle every week or maybe in the evenings or with your family. Now, don't light the candle unless you have your parents' permission, okay? But with that, it reminds us of the hope that Jesus brings and that he is coming again. So I hope you get a chance to do that. So today we are going to start talking about Jesus' birth and telling the story of the Nativity. And we're going to do that out of the Spark Story Bible. And we have a story about angel's visit. And this is actually from Luke chapter 1, verses 26 through 38. Mary was a beautiful young woman. She lived in a town called Nazareth and was engaged to marry a man named Joseph. One day, a tall and handsome man appeared in front of Mary. His clothes were brilliant white. His hair was dark and curly, and his eyes sparkled like lights. Mary knew the man must be an angel. "Hello, Mary," he said. "God is with you." Mary stepped backwards. His deep voice scared her. "Don't be afraid," he said. "God sent me to tell you that you're going to have a son, who you'll name Jesus, and he's going to be very important to many people." "A son? But I'm not married yet," she said. "How is this going to happen?" "The Holy Spirit will come to you," the angel replied. "Your son will be the Son of God." "The Son of God? My son?" Mary thought about all these things. It didn't seem possible, but she believed anything was possible for God. "I am God's servant. I'll do whatever God says." In her mind, her thoughts were racing. What will Joseph think? Would he believe her? Mary was nervous. When Mary told Joseph about the angel and about giving birth to God's son, he did just what she was afraid he would do. He didn't believe her. He talked about not marrying her anymore. Mary felt so sad, but she remembered what the angel said, and she trusted God. The next day, something wonderful happened. Joseph came to her and said, "An angel came to me in a dream. He said, 'Joseph, don't be afraid to make Mary your wife. She's going to have a son, and you're going to name him Jesus. He's going to save people from their sins.'" Mary smiled a big smile. She was so happy that tears of joy filled her eyes and trickled down her cheeks. She felt Joseph's love again. "I am not scared for you to be my wife, Mary," he said. "I will be with you, and we will name the boy Jesus." So Mary was very, very trusting in God. You see, back when Mary was engaged to be with Joseph, the engagements were very long, and they didn't really see each other or spend time together very much. It was a long waiting period. So when she became pregnant, it was very surprising to him and to her. And back then, if a woman became pregnant and she wasn't married, it was against the law. She could actually get in a lot of trouble for it. Well, that's pretty scary. So she really trusted in God, didn't she? She believed everything the angel said, because she could have gotten in lots and lots of trouble for being pregnant. But she trusted that God would take care of her during this time, and he did. And that was a pretty amazing thing. So in your Christian education bags, you may have found two things, and probably only two things: box of crayons and the nativity story. Now, this nativity story tells the entire story of Jesus' birth. And what we are going to do is we are going to color in the parts that we talk about each week. And this week, we're going to color in the angel and Mary. And you can color in the nativity story too. How about that little area as well? And by coloring in Mary and the angel, you could probably color in this angel too. We are starting what will be your storyboard on Christmas, where you'll be able to talk about the whole story. Now, these crayons are a little different than the other crayons I gave you. If you'll notice, they're different skin colors. Now, probably not all the skin colors, but a pretty good variety of skin colors. And the reason we got those is because, Mary and Joseph and Jesus, they lived in the Middle East. Now, the Middle East is a part of the world where people have much darker skin than what I have. And I thought it would be nice to actually color Mary and Jesus and Joseph and all the people probably a more realistic color, because they weren't light-skinned with blonde hair like me. They had darker skin. So I have already colored in a couple of the faces here. Now, these crayons, they're not quite as easy to color with as I had hoped on this paper. So if you color too much, it almost wipes it off. But if you work at it, eventually you are able to color it in. So you may have to get your markers or colored pencils as well. And you might have to get your other crayon sets in order to color in the clothes and the pots and all of that. But if you work at it, you can give them faces and hair and make it colorful and beautiful. And this way you can tell the story of Jesus' birth, or just go through it and remind yourself of the story of Jesus' birth and what it is that we are waiting for again. So I hope you have a very hope-filled day on this first day of Advent. And I will see you at 6:30 tonight for the check-in. Bye, guys.